In the dark ages of medieval Europe, when kings ruled not only with swords but with absolute authority, there lived a powerful monarch known across the land for his wealth, armies, and towering castles. His name echoed through valleys and towns, and people bowed their heads whenever he passed. At first, he was admired as a strong leader, but slowly, a dangerous enemy grew inside him: pride. This king believed he was chosen by destiny itself. Victories in battle convinced him that he was invincible. He stopped listening to his advisors, ignored the wisdom of the church, and mocked the concerns of his own people. To him, power was proof that he could never fail. As years passed, the king's arrogance became unbearable. He raised heavy taxes, forced peasants into slavery, and punished anyone who dared question his decisions. The once loyal nobles began to whisper in secret halls, while the common people prayed for relief from his cruel rule. The king, blinded by ego, believed fear was stronger than love. He built massive fortresses and expanded his army, preparing for wars that did not need to be fought. Every victory fed his vanity, and every warning was dismissed as weakness. One winter, a trusted general warned him of unrest spreading through the kingdom. Villages were starving, soldiers were tired, and enemies at the borders were growing stronger. But the king laughed. He called himself the greatest ruler the land had ever seen. That laughter would soon haunt him. In a fatal decision driven by overconfidence, the king declared war on a neighboring kingdom far larger and better prepared. He believed his name alone would bring fear to his enemies. Marching proudly into battle, he ignored poor supply lines and the harsh terrain. The war turned into a disaster. His army was ambushed. Thousands of soldiers fell. The king escaped, but his reputation was shattered. News of defeat spread like wildfire, igniting rebellion back home. The people who once bowed now raised their voices. The nobles joined forces with angry citizens. Even members of the royal court turned against him. His crown, once a symbol of divine rule, became a symbol of tyranny. As rebellion reached the capital, the king hid behind stone walls, surrounded by silence instead of loyalty. The crown he loved could no longer protect him. His closest allies abandoned him, leaving him alone with his regret. When the rebels finally broke through the gates, the king was captured without a fight. The man who believed himself immortal now stood powerless. His crown was removed, not by an enemy king, but by his own people. The former ruler was exiled from the kingdom he once controlled. Stripped of power, title, and honor, he lived the rest of his life in obscurity. History would remember him not for his victories, but for his downfall. This medieval king's story teaches a timeless lesson. Pride can destroy even the mightiest ruler. Power without humility leads to ruin. True leadership is built on wisdom, compassion, and the ability to listen. In the end, it was not war or enemies that defeated the king, it was his own arrogance.